Hello, everybody. Welcome to AstrorisaMoonTalk. We are looking at this upcoming December 3rd, 2017 Mercury Retrograde. But that is also happening when the full moon is in Gemini 11 degrees, house 4, and Sagittarius sun 11 degrees also. But that's in house 10. That is also happening December 3rd. So we're going to have a very interesting December 3rd and moving on into, I believe it's the 23rd of December, when the Mercury retrograde begins to come out of that period. So we have a spread here that is representing actually the retrograde, but because it's happening on the same day as the full moon, it'll have some of that energy embedded in it as well. And we're starting off with the Three of Pentacles as our first card. So during this time, some people are going to be able to actually begin to make some money. For some people, Mercury retrograde actually is very, very compatible for money making. And it looks like for the collective consciousness, it's going to be a few people that are going to be working really hard to make money, but actually not just to make it, but also to receive it. So for some people, it's going to be a really good time financially. Then we also are looking at the Hermit. And so the other side of that hard working energy is also the energy of one that needs to take their time and just kind of be still a moment. We have that Gemini energy there, that 11 degrees. So we're talking then that this is speaking about some people are going to want to go within during that time and not be so visible. Some of you who are going to move more into this Hermit type card are going to already feel this energy before we hit December 3rd, where you're just kind of starting to clean up maybe your social media, any kind of area in your life that's dealing with information but is cluttered or it's an overload. So you're going through your files at this time and you're reassessing and you're looking at information that you already have and you're deciding what you should keep and what you should get rid of. So that's going to be part of that energy that we're going to be experiencing as well. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. And so some people during this time, this retrograded time, are going to again be kind of still just a little bit. And I want to say again, reassess. I always kind of use that word for a Mercury retrograde, but can't seem to get away from that word reassessing. But for this Nine of Pentacles, some people are going to kind of just reassess, like what do they have in their home, and you're looking at what is it that you want to keep and what is it that you may want to discard. Is that kind of energy. You're looking at bringing, I'm not going to say so much looking at bringing, but more so you're really focusing on on what makes you comfortable, whether that's your home or any other abode or place that makes you feel comfortable and satisfied. It looks like a lot of people who are going to resonate with the Nine of Pentacles are going to kind of really look at just focusing on their space of contentment. So what makes you content? And if there's something that brings any kind of disharmony during this retrograde, these type of folks are going to be clearing that out as well. And then we have some people who are going to be connecting with the Chariot. Okay, and so with that, there's some action, there's some movement there. So we're dealing again with that mercurial energy, both with the retrograde as well as the full moon. And so you have one aspect that's slowing down. The planet that actually rules Gemini is slowing down, but yet we have a full moon in Gemini, which is an expansive energy. So it's like a push and a pull. So we're seeing that in these first four cards. Either there's some type of solid action, or there's some type of solid sediment going on with people. So with the Chariot, there's definitely some kind of action. And so, some people are planning on taking trips and even making trips across the water, as we see. And they've been planning this for a minute, and they're really excited about it. So some type of plans regarding travel for a lot of people during this retrograde time. But then also, what I do want to point out to you all is, it's always wise to be cautious of traveling, because there is the potential with the Three of Swords cards, which is spoken of as the heartache and loss, that the end result of that trip can bring some type of dissatisfaction. So even though it may at the moment seem pleasurable, you want to really kind of be careful of taking trips during this retrograded period. And then again with the Gemini and 11 degrees, that's a challenging degree in itself anyway. So this is why I'm saying be careful. And then, like I said, it's the the Three of Swords. So I'm looking even at numbers with the number 3. So just kind of, just take that into consideration. And we're looking then also at the card that's called Truth, which is the actual card of Judgment card. So that's underneath the Three of Pentacles and underneath the Hermit. And so with the Judgment card, it's speaking more so of kind of be clear about what it is that you are wanting or you're going to decide to do, as far as the energy and the time that you're going to put into like your finances, or going into partnership with people, or putting out money in regards to maybe learning or improving your skills or your trade, and just like really take your time in making the decision as to who you're going to connect with, what kind of institution. For some people, I'm feeling like they're looking for the cheapest route to go, and that may not be the best judgment for them, because either way you're going to pay. You pay in time, you pay in finances, and there's some things you have to repeat again because it wasn't kosher. So, take your time and weigh your options in regards to your finances and your time, and plan, but plan slowly in a sense. And then for those that are dealing with the Hermit card, and we're talking about judgment, and you're wanting to kind of pull back and really not be bothered with people too much at this point, there's some type of shift in thought processes that will be going on for those folks that resonate with this energy or this card. So how you were perceiving a situation or perceiving people or perceiving whatever it may be, expect a change in that perception, whether that's good or bad. It's not me to say, but I am saying that there's going to be a strong shift in these folks' perceptions, okay? So expect that and be soft and open to whatever it is that you're going to be receiving. And then, of course, you want to be able to make a matter-of-fact judgment on the validity of it or its lack of validity. But definitely know that there's some strong information that's coming that's going to cause a shift in your consciousness. And so with us having the triumphant success or the Ace of Swords card connected with the Hermit, we see again, it's just validating that a new thought process and new ideas are coming based on this shift, as far as a shift in consciousness and information. So expect some new ideas about how you're going to move forward to come about. But also this Ace of Swords, or called the Triumphant Success card, is also connected to the Nine of Pentacles. And we talked about reassessing and looking at the home or that place that you feel comfortable with, and deciding what needs to go or what needs to stay. So there's going to be a lot of ideas for those people as well that's going to be permeating for them, and they're going to have to make some very strong decisions, almost about like setting their boundaries. I'm feeling like for some of you, you're going to have to set new boundaries regarding your comfort zone. And what does that look like? And, there's some kind of challenge there, because if you're dealing with setting boundaries and setting your comfort zone, then you have to decide, like really, what does that look like, right? And you may not be able to do it by yourself. Like you might have to bounce ideas off of other people, and or even receive some assistance or help in making this a reality. We have for the Chariot, we have the Nine of Cups would be the Fulfillment of Wishes card. And so this card here is speaking about the plans, basically, that one has previously made, and they made those plans based on dreams that they wanted to achieve. It's like I really want to go on vacation in the Bahamas, and I've planned to do this. I put in all my money back in January, and I saved up, and I'm just going to go because this is what I've planned to do. So remember, I talked about, even though initially it may seem like a pleasant trip, but it can really most likely end up in a heartache, or like in the Orisha system, we say you go on a trip and you experience a fright. So for those that know that proverb, it's like falling into that area, that arena. So you might want to think about changing direction, right? Changing the plan, even though you put the money down. I will say that if you're hell-bent on going, then definitely have a consultation before you go, just to make sure you are not one of those that can run into the heartache and loss aspect of going on its trip. Okay? Now below the 20 card called Truth, which is actually the Judgment card, we have the Five of Cups. And so there's this relationship with the decisions that we're making, the plans that we are developing, and even some things may be ending, some things may be beginning, but there's also connected with those situations some type of disappointment or some type of loss. And what I'm seeing with this Five of Cups is it's more like somebody throwing in the towel. So when if you're associating with the Judgment card, or you're associating with the Three of Pentacles that we've talked about previously, and you're trying to make the best decision, again, it falls into making a sound decision, not to make decisions based on emotions, even though the Truth card is there, but we're talking about the Five of Cups. So we're now talking about emotions. So don't make emotional decisions, because there's no real balance in that. And then all the time that you've put in is wasted. So you want to think about that. Also, we have the Seven of Cups, another cup. And that's connected to the Judgment or Truth card, as well as it's connected to the Triumph of Success, aka the Ace of Swords cup. So know exactly what it is that you want. And so these cards at the bottom are more so of what is the root of our challenges during this moon time, as well as this Mercury retrograde time. What is the root of our challenge? And so the root of our challenge is making emotional decisions, putting in a whole lot of hard work, but not really being clear about what the outcome could possibly be. It's almost like for some people, they're going to be challenged in this area of they create this idea in their head that this is how it's going to end up, instead of saying this is how it could possibly end up, but then also it could possibly end up another kind of way. Allowing themselves to have a wider scope of possibilities, and not being set on just a reality that has not even occurred yet. And then at the end, when it doesn't happen that way, they actually don't have a plan B or C, and then everything was just for naught. So this is really what a lot of people are going to be challenged with. Again, the Seven of Cups, not really being clear about what it is that you want to do. It's like, oh wow, everything just looks so tasty in a sense. It's a shadow. You're just not sure. So you want to be clear about your goals. No one knows what the outcome is, but be clear about your goals, and be clear about how committed you're really willing to be in this particular situation that you are either going to get involved in, or you're already involved in. And of course, then we have the Nine of Wands. So, the Nine of Wands, that is, that's generally somebody just carrying a whole lot, right? But in this instance, we see it kind of reminds me of a Seven of Wands card, where one is being very defensive. And so that's what this is then going to be about, more so of a person kind of being like locked down. And so for some of you, the challenge then is going to be like almost like you're what are you fighting for? Like you're using up a lot of your energy and aggressively being defensive and fighting for whatever it is that you are fighting for, but you're not making any progress. Okay, and so there's a restriction there, and so then it's connected to the Nine of Cups, and it's also connected to the Ace of Swords, or we're calling it the triumph from success, and then the fulfillment of wishes. So in your mind, the cause is righteous and it's good and it's worth fighting for. But at the same time, it's either you're doing it because it's giving you some type of gratification to be combative, or to be on the opposite side of whatever the situation is. But in the end, the real question is, what are you really going to get out of being combative? Like, what is it that you're really trying to achieve? Because this Nine of Wands is like on the same level of these other cards, which are cups, emotions. So there's like a lot of it's like emotionally driven. So be really cautious for those that connect with the Nine of Wands during this time to pick your battles. And if you're picking a battle, make sure it's something that's worth defending and it's worth your time. Because this is about, we're talking about Gemini, we're talking about Mercury, so we're talking about our thought processes. And then we're also talking about our resources and our energy, because Mercury going retrograde is slowing down. So it doesn't have the zest, it doesn't have the zeal, it doesn't have the forward movement and action that it normally has. So we're drudging through a lot of stuff, we're drudging through a lot of cosmic mud in a sense. And so you have to pick your battles and decide at this time, is it really worth it? Because you will be most likely like just swinging at nothing. You know what I mean? You're using up a lot of your energy, using up a lot of your time, and nothing is getting done. It's not being productive. So you want to really pay attention to that as well. Use clear thinking throughout this process during this moon time, as well as these next, about 20 days of retrograde. And then of course we have the post retrograde energies. And so Mercury's not going to go full throttle forward really until January 1st. So just take your time and be real clear and real honest with yourself during this time process. So I hope that this forecast reading was very helpful for you all. And let's see how we can work through these energies of this upcoming moon time. So remember to know your truest self, follow moon. Take care. See you next time.